And then, of course, later, toward the end of the episode, Meghan has to bring it back to herself and she has to talk about her jam. And she says, by the way, for me, when I started making my jam, I was all about my jam hats. People were like, what is she going on about? It's like these little, really chic version of the little cloth thing that I tied around. Everything is going to have a jam hat. And we're scaling to something that's much, you see what I mean? She's talking about, the little cloth that you can put on the top of a jam jar, the lid, and then you put the cloth and then you tie the cloth with a little ribbon. That's what Meghan's talking about. To $1.2 billion Sarah Blakely, equating herself to Sarah Blakely Spanx and now Sneaks. That I have jam hats, ladies and gentlemen, and these jam hats are the cutting edge piece de resistance that make my jam so unbelievably special. And then she talks about how I said, but it could be repurposed as a coaster. And wouldn't it be so cute as a hanky? I just think there's something so charming and darling about it. The vision for me was just so clear. And to that point in the conversation, when Sarah was talking about how she developed the idea for sneaks, she wanted high heels that were as comfortable as sneakers for the wearer. And Sarah talks about that in this podcast. So what she's talking about is assessing the needs of women that want comfortable but good-looking high heels. That's what she's bringing to market. And then Meghan segues into it as like cloth on the lid of her jam jar. That was what led to As Ever, because she is solving the problem of having a beautifully sentimental, elevated experience that people can have with breakfast. Most of us are just getting breakfast on the table so we can get the hell out of the house in the morning on time. We're not worried about that kind of stuff. You see what I mean? She cannot conceive of anything that would be relatable that she could bring to market for anybody. Not even someone who really likes her or appreciates this kind of drivel. It's unfreaking believable. Someone really, really needs to have an intervention with this woman. She has such an impossible sense of self-importance. She really does feel as if she is God's gift. She's God's gift to podcasting. She's God's gift to Netflix because she can put on a show about elevating the ordinary every day. You're promised that and you watch it, but you're just watching her rebag pretzels.